I want to live off the grid, upstate. Like, I want to live in the wilderness.
Busy. No, you don't.
You want to do that for a day or two.
You don't
You
want to
guys,
do that.
I do. You don't know me. I do. I want to do pottery. I want to do my fucking bad art. And
Why
I want
you
to
gotta
just like
be off the grid? I want to be on the grid. The pizza is not coming to your house with a phone call if you off the grid, dude.
Okay, you're right.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
We're catching up with Miss Sicky's sick pants.
Oh no, are you sick?
I fucking got COVID, Shantira.
Fuck. You gotta rest.
I got to rest. I think it's the
That's
universe
how-
telling
That
me
is how,
to.
if you don't, that's how everybody has long COVID. You gotta take a break. You gotta lay down.
I'm laying down. I've been laying down. I actually almost was going to do this from my bed.
You should.
I'm not kidding.
You should.
Well, Who knows? We'll see how long you make it sitting up.
I know.
It's
Also, did you
true.
get a haircut? I mean,
It's been a minute, but yeah. I
this is
chopped
a
my
good
hair
bob.
off.
I like a lob. I like a long bob. This is good. I mean, you're sick, but it look good.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I'm like,
Guys, in case you
Hi.
didn't know, Shantira came back to visit us.
This is-
Hello.
this is only like 3 years in the making.
You guys, we've been busy. Also, can you hear me? It took me a minute because I needed to find the cord for my mic. Does this sound okay?
Yeah, you sound
Yeah.
great.
Thank you. I do not use this very much. And I was like, where is this micro USB cord? I don't know what the fuck this is.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you.
It's nice to see you guys. Hello.
I know you look so
Hello.
cute.
Thank you.
Where are you? What is this new apartment?
This is the house that I rent because I'll never be able to buy a house. This is the house that I rent, and this is the office that I have.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
Thank
So
you.
great.
We painted this wall, and let me tell you, the other walls is white. Because after I painted this, I was like, no, that's
It's-
the end.
So hard.
Shantira's
paint
in front of
walls.
a beautiful yellow wall. Can I tell you something?
Mhm.
My husband graciously, like when we bought this house, it was painted terracotta, which isn't
Mhm.
really, it's not my jam. And also
Yeah.
it's not really the vibe of the house. And like he painted it before some party and but never got to the fourth side. Like he ran out of time.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's okay. I left that one for last. That's the one that no one will come through to get to the backyard. It's like 3 years later, and that side is still terracotta.
No. Leave it. It's over. It's a wrap. It's over. I was like, I'm going to do so many coats and I'm going to do so many walls. No, I didn't.
No.
I did one wall and I did a bunch of coats. And I was like, this how anybody ever going to see? This camera is never moving. No, I'm not.
Well,
paying.
it looks great.
It looks
Thank
great.
you.
Painting is for the young. Painting is one of those things that always seems like it's going to be so fun, and you're going to like boob each other on the nose with painty fingers. But no.
No, what is booped is their spots on the floor and they're under this fucking rug. I was like, I gotta put alcohol on the floor and get on my knees? Absolutely not. When I move out, that's something for future me to take care of.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
Covered it with the rug and I'm moving on.
I hear that. Like yes. Oh my God. You
Well,
guys, I'm sorry. I have, yes. So COVID. Wait, I can't.
Yeah.
How am I going to do this? Someone
Can you?
explain.
We can schedule if you need to because I ain't got no job. So
I know we don't have jobs.
I got no job. I got one thing to do tomorrow. I'm going to Jet Propulsion Laboratories for a tour by myself. I was like, it took me forever to get a day that was free. The science nerds are always in the building. But I think I realized that tomorrow is 9/11, and that might have something to do with why all the tours were readily available.
Wait, what is Jet
Right.
Propulsion Laboratories?
It's like NASA. It's like basically Jet Propulsion Laboratories is like where they do like Mars rover stuff.
Where
like,
is it?
Fucking Glendale.
Oh.
So
I think I
like,
know a
love
couple
space.
people that work there, actually.
Oh my God. That's
do?
very cool.
Yes.
I met somebody who works there when I went to a wedding, and I was like, you're like a real rocket scientist. I do comedy. That's cool. I love space, and I'm going by myself at 9:30 in the morning. It's 3 hours. It's from 9:30 to 12:30. I can't wait. So that's the only thing I have to reschedule.
Hey, I love that.
Oh my
I
gosh,
love that you're
that's
doing
very
that.
exciting. I'm so glad that
very
you're
exciting.
going. You were
I'm
smart.
so excited.
You were smart to get that date. I'm taking Eli to the Stall House coming up in October, and it was also really hard to get a time to go there because they only let like 10 people in at a time, and I think it's because like the house is stuck onto a cliff.
And they don't
so
want to fall off.
I feel like if too many people go rumbling around in there, it's dangerous. But it's like an iconic mid-century house. If you've ever seen like a dreamy photo of like a staged cocktail party by the pool at a mid-century house stuck to a cliff, it's the Stall House. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a little shallower than JPL, but
no, I think here's the thing, like science nerds are on it because I want to go in the summer for my birthday.
right.
And it was like fucking Taylor Swift tickets. the tickets went online at like 9 in the morning. And I was like, do I want to get sometimes you get like an extra ticket to a concert in case somebody wants to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll get 2 tickets to NASA, maybe 9:03, done.
Whoa.
Done.
Because you know what? Probably all those science nerds probably have like figured out they probably like made some widget on their computer to get all the tickets.
They got all the tickets and you have to like do it like weeks or months in advance. And then after it closed, it was like, you can buy tickets again on this date. And it was like 2 months later. So I got up early, got 1 ticket just for me. And I chose 9/11 and I was like, I can probably get this. And that's what I did.
I hope you have so much fun. I hope you meet like a nerd best friend. One time I was at Paisley Park. I wasn't alone on the tour. I was with my husband and my friend. But when I go to Paisley Park, I am very alone. Like I make myself alone, you know?
Yeah.
Because like
I
want
to absorb it.
Yeah, and I want to look at everything in my own time. So I could have given the impression that I was alone. And we went into this room, this recording studio, and they were like, would anyone like to play ping pong on Prince's ping pong table?
Yes.
And I was like, I automatically was like, no, I could never. And this man that was also on the tour alone, even though I wasn't, he turned to me and he was like, we gotta play. And so he was like, gave me a ping pong paddle. And so we played ping pong. And then I was like, I was glad I did that. And then a few minutes later, they were like, would anyone like to step into the recording booth and record yourself singing Raspberry Beret? And again, I was about to not raise my hand. And that man turned to me and he was like, you gotta do it. I know you can do it.
Yes, I love this. I want to do it. I had a job before this. We couldn't have jobs, so I won't tell you what job it was. And they were like, we're giving out offices. And they were like, okay, there's like 2 offices where people are by themselves. And then there's like 2 offices where people have to share an office.
Yeah.
And then they were like, who wants the office by yourself? And then like one person was like, I don't care. I said office by myself. The fuck? Why are you playing around with our dreams here?
Yeah.
Don't light yourself out of an exclusively alone office. That's crazy. You gotta say what you want. So yeah, you gotta be like, what? Because you left there being like, damn, I'm so happy I did that.
Yes.
Go for it. Go sing that song. Cause like, shit, I want it. Give it to me.
I love that. Don't polite yourself out of it.
Yeah, don't polite yourself out of it. She
Yeah.
was like, oh, I don't know. And guess what she does know? She got a fucking roommate. That's what
That's
she knows.
right. That's right. And I've had some doozy office roommates in my day. This one guy used to always ride his bike into work every morning. And so he was like from Brooklyn to Manhattan.
A man?
And then and then he would like come up behind me and hug and like kiss me on the cheek with his sweaty body.
Times were different. Times were different.
Times were different.
Times were different.
And I was just like, I mean, that like this is not cool. But also it's like, what's the diagnosis on someone like that? Because they know they're sweaty. They know they're doing it to you.
No,
you know?
no. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's predatory.
It's a troll.
Also, Also, when women spits, we're always like, oh, we're sweaty and we smell like fucking, I don't know, cucumber melon or something. When men sweat it's like every 14-year-old boy in the world like spits on them and it like comes out of their bodies. Like that's extra gross.
It's really gross. I guess one of the good news of this current COVID. Oh wait, Gina's back from her walk. Hold on.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. I love Gina.
I told Mark he had to come walk Gina because I couldn't go outside.
Yeah, of course. Oh my gosh. Shantira, I was saying that last week I was telling Busy that I went on a girls' weekend with a bunch of people that you know too.
I double tapped it.
But it was like Ashley organized like this big Airbnb. And when we got there, there was like rooms that were like 2 bunk beds and then like rooms that were like it was fine, but it had no windows or whatever.
Yeah.
And everybody was like trying to agree like what rooms. And like instantly everyone was like, Caissie, you should take the main bedroom because you said you wanted to take a bath in the bathtub. And I was like, no, but how could I ever? And
do not
was like,
light yourself out of a bathtub. Absolutely not. Especially one that's not yours. That's not your water. That's a lot of water to fill up a tub.
So I wound up, I took that room and I took a bath in it and it was really nice. But I was like, it was the most generous, democratic girls trip ever. I was like, wow, why would you give me that room? But also I'm taking it. I did ask if they thought that I should take a bath because I was older. They were like,
no, I just took a bath. Ever since like working with y'all, I really learned that from Busy. I love to take a bath. I take a bath as much as possible. If I have to go out of town, I try to get a room at a hotel with a tub.
Yeah,
like
it's so hard now.
It's so hard. Everybody wants these like fancy fucking showers that are okay. Give me a bathtub, bro. That's really like, I've learned a lot from you, Busy, but booking a room with a bathtub?
Yes.
Top priority.
Top priority.
Top priority.
I just like had this thing I moved apartments and I'm in this new apartment and obviously COVID. And I haven't really showered in this apartment that much. Like, cause I moved into this apartment in June and I was gone most of the summer. And the times that I've showered, it's been really hot out. And so I haven't cared or noticed that the hot water in the shower isn't
as hot as you want it to be?
Hot.
It's not very hot.
I took the handle off.
Yeah.
And you know, they like redid the apartment before I moved in. They like redid parts of it.
Yeah.
And they redid part of the bathroom. And there's this little like manufacturer thing that's like,
you can't get this
caution.
It limits. Yeah.
You must adjust the plumber. You must adjust the heat thing before. They obviously didn't do it. The little tag is still there. Like,
no,
it's
but
like
they do that because like I lived in an apartment that was like that. And like, I was like, this water is not hot enough. It's not hot enough. And I think it just has some, like, I think everything's taxes. Somebody's getting a tax break.
Wait,
because you don't get enough hot water.
But
I think landlords do it so that you can't sue them if you like burn yourself or a child.
I could burn myself in the sink in the kitchen. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
The kitchen is so fucking hot.
Because that doesn't have that limiter. They're just worried about.
What is she doing? Do you see this person right here?
Yeah, she's she's bumping you for a treat.
This kitchen, I literally was like, do I shower in the kitchen? Like, what am I doing?
You know what I did? What I would do sometimes, because I was like a little too late. I was like, I don't think we're going to stay in this apartment. So I was like, and I also like demanded a new air conditioner. And I think you can only get so much sometimes. Yeah. I'm always like, landlord, I'm giving you rent. I've been here for a year. You can afford whatever the fuck it is to fix. But we moved in and I looked it up. It was like thousands upon thousands of dollars for the AC to be replaced because it was old. And then I was like, get him with the water. I was like, fuck around and get this AC first. And then we moved. So whoever's there, I hope it wasn't hot enough, but they do that to us. They do that.
Well, maybe I'll just hire an outside plumber to come and remove the tag.
Yeah. Do it.
I'll just look it up and do it myself.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe look on YouTube. Maybe it's like a super simple thing to do.
I think it probably is, but I don't have tools here.
Do not
have tools.
Listen, it's like 2 things that I will not YouTube. I will not YouTube plumbing because if you don't know what you're doing, the secret water terrifies me. Secret water terrifies me. I'm like, I will not do plumbing. Anything with water, I'm not going to do. And I'm not going to do anything to my car.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything
don't do electrical. Yeah, that's what. But I do have a little bit of a DIY update for. Okay, so Shantira, you might not know because I know you're really busy, but I've been talking about like for literally months. Like this all started when I went to put towels away in the guy's bathroom and literally ripped the door off the hinges because the wood was rotted. The door frame was rotted. And come to find out, it was because the shower was leaking like behind the wall, into the wall. This shower from the 80s. So we were like, okay, we got to just put in like a cheapy shower or whatever. But it was rotted. So then we were like, you know what? Let's do a real quick like cosmetic refresh of the bathroom. Because it's, it's old and it's not great. And let's just like make it look nice. So we took everything out. The toilet was also almost rotted through. Like one of the boys could have wound up like under the house. Like if they went to,
That's why I don't touch anything with water. Just water. And TikTok shows me enough videos to be like, everybody's house is got a, what do you call the thing where the camera where you could see the heat?
Oh, yes.
The water. And it's just like everybody being like, this wall is wet. I'm like stressed all the time.
It was very stressful. So we had to like basically gut the bathroom, build a new subfloor, all this stuff. But like my husband, Matt, who's like fairly competent at doing, he knows what he doesn't know how to do and he knows, so he won't do anything electric. He'll usually call in a plumber for something major. So we were like, let's just order all the fittings and fixtures and we'll have plumbers come in and like put new pipes and everything so nothing leaks. And then you can just install the toilet, the vanity, and the shower. So then I was tracking everything that we ordered and the shower walls, like we ordered like solid surface shower walls so that they wouldn't leak because the tiles were leaky. And they were like, that'll be delivered this afternoon. It's in Sun Valley, California, which is like 4 miles from my house.
They're lying. Everyone's always lying.
Shantira, I called a million times. It never came. And then I kept getting the runaround, all these phone numbers. And then finally this person says, oh yeah, that shipping company went out of business yesterday. Your walls are in a warehouse and like I can get back to you with like next steps about when you can possibly retrieve them. And I was like, yeah. And I was just like, no, we've talked about all this on the pod. So everybody knows this. So I had to reorder shower walls from another place, and the store that originally I ordered them from graciously let me cancel the shower walls that were being held hostage in this like warehouse that went out of business. The new shower walls were finally delivered. But in the meantime, it's taking forever because of so many things, but mainly because we're waiting for those shower walls. So while we're waiting for those shower walls, our house is a fucking disaster because we have everything in the little room outside the bathroom. Yeah. Everything, all the boxes with the faucets and the vanities and the everything are like outside the bathroom. So this weekend last weekend was finally the time when the new shower walls came.
Yes.
Busy posted a picture of my husband Matt trying to hold up the shower walls as he's like gluing them in last weekend.
It's an amazing picture. It's actually fucking amazing.
This weekend, all we had to do was install the glass shower door because
I'm stressed.
As I was saying, like to Busy, he only has 2 days a week and he's only one person. So, So I was so excited because he did what he had to do yesterday, and today the glass shower door was going in. This is a thing that's been sitting in a box in our den for months now.
Oh, God.
He opened up the glass shower door to inspect it and
do not tell me. Do not tell me.
It's not shattered,
no,
is it?
It wasn't shattered. It was in perfect condition. And perfectly underneath it was the biggest roach from another country that I've ever seen alive still, running around. It was bigger than a mouse.
I believe that. I'm from Florida. Seen that, been there, done that.
How did a cockroach live inside that box for 3 months?
All they need is like a drop of water. That's why all the dinosaurs are dead and we still have cockroaches. Like
I was gonna say that's kind of their whole MO.
That's their whole
that's
thing.
Literally all they do is stay alive.
They need like one drop of water and then the whole entire planet can be destroyed. And they're like, bet. When we're all gone,
my whole family had like wobbly knees. I mean, we lived in New York City for years. We've seen cockroaches.
Did you take a picture of it?
I think Matt took a picture of it.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
But then the guys were like, let's lift up,
No.
I'll lift up the glass door and then you stomp the cockroach. And I was like,
whose job was it to stomp the cockroach?
I don't know, but all I could picture is that someone was going to lift up the glass door, someone was going to miss it, and someone's going to drop the door and break it. Anyway, one of the guys moved out a little piece of styrofoam that was like cushioning the glass door, and then we stuck a vacuum cleaner in there real quick and sucked up the cockroach.
Did you flush it down the toilet? What'd you do?
Matthew took it outside and he whirred around the vacuum cleaner for so long to make sure the cockroach was dead, and then
it's not dead.
It's not dead.
You have to kill it. You have to crush it. I'm not kidding.
It's
not dead.
Flush it down the toilet. You have to chop his head off and flush it down the toilet.
I'm not kidding. It's not dead.
It's not fucking dead.
I trust him that he killed it. I trust him.
Well, I don't trust him after what you said.
I'm sure he stomped it after.
Okay,
I don't know.
You need to ask him because
I
this
didn't
is
even
important.
ask
We can't.
In 3 years in California, we're going to get a news story.
This is what I was about to say.
A French cockroach that has invaded Southern California, and they going to try to find what cargo ship it came on, and somebody's going to point them here.
I'm just going to say, I'm with Shantira on this. Like, we already have an issue with these mosquitoes that got brought in on the shipping container in California. If you guys are responsible for a monster breed of cockroach, California can't take it. They can't take it.
We really cannot.
No.
We need to make sure. I need confirmation from Matt. I'm not kidding.
I'm going to text him right now.
Its skeleton.
But also, always crush it. And then flush it down.
Crush it and flush it, guys.
Crush it and flush. And listen, I think that, what do they call them back home? I've seen really fucking huge ones. I think they call them
the water.
Palmetto.
They call
palmetto bugs.
Palmetto bugs.
Oh yeah.
There was one that was this big once on.
Yeah, they're
me.
huge. They're the size of a goddamn bird.
Yeah, they're so disgusting.
They're so big and disgusting and terrifying. So God bless. I'm sorry that happened to you, but that roach is alive. And it's alive for us.
Yeah, it's not. If you don't. That's the way that these guys work. If you think that
they're just to be dead,
a vacuum cleaner is going to kill it, no. That guy's laughing at you. He's actually laughing.
I'm waiting to hear. I'm waiting to hear from Matt what he did to the cockroach. But also, somebody that I know in LA had a tarantula on their front door. The other night.
Sounds about right. They're desert creatures.
Yeah, tarantulas exist in Los Angeles.
Tarantulas, scorpions. We're in their desert. So that absolutely. Giant palmetto bug? No.
Yeah. That's coming from somewhere else.
They like humidity. So it's really dry heat here. So they're not supposed to be here. Hopefully they don't adapt the way they did after the asteroid that killed the Earth.
Oh my God. What a nightmare.
Thank God. Hey, bass. Bass. Guys, you know how much we love that bass. And I'm not talking about bass in a song at the club. I'm talking about the bass, B-E-I-S, bass, in my arms as I travel easily through security, looking chic, with room for everything that I need. Because bass is my dream. It's your dream. It's an overpacker's dream. It's the luggage of your dreams. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Actress Shay Mitchell, she really did something. She really wanted to make sleek and affordable bags and luggage and accessories that help you look like you could get paparazzi'd walking through the airport and people would be like, wow, she looks great. What is that luggage? And they don't even know that you've got 15 pairs of underwear for your weekend trip and 7 pairs of shoes because it all fits in base. Guys, Base has thought of everything that you could ever want in a piece of luggage. Their luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors. And you know we've talked about this weekender bag. It's super functional. It has a place to store your shoes separately, which is ideal if you're someone like me who's a germaphobe a little bit and always can't find those like shoe bags when it's time to pack. So then I'm like, ugh, what do I do? Well, now with Base, I don't even have to think about it. They just go in their little shoe container, bottom section, zip, 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 and they're safe. I'm telling you, check it out. Base luggage is the way to be. And right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/best. Go to basetravel.com/best for 15% off your first purchase. That's Base, BEIS, travel.com/best. Guys, I've been reading a lot about hair thinning. I feel like people are talking about it more, which is great because it can happen for any number of reasons. I didn't even know COVID can cause hair thinning. And here we are. Here she is with COVID yet again. But I feel okay because you know what I've been using? My Nutrafol hair growth supplements. I know you've heard about it. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement. I know you've heard about it. I know you have friends that have taken it. It's clinically shown to improve visible thickness and strength. You know, hormonal, postpartum, menopause to plant-based lifestyles, no matter your life stage. Nutrafol has 4 unique formulas that will support you. Each is physician formulated using drug-free, science-backed ingredients. You get the most reliable results. It really works for me. Go to Nutrafol.com and you take their hair health wellness quiz. And it kind of helps you identify the causes of your thinning hair. And then Nutrafol gives you a personalized plan for better hair growth. They have a whole body health approach. It's now available in a vegan formula, guys. So if you're vegan, don't worry about that. Emily BB. Their newest supplement is formulated for women ages 18 plus with plant-based lifestyles who are experiencing signs of hair thinning. And look, in a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol women's hair growth supplement for 6 months. So take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code BUSY. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code BUSY. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code BUSY. We love you, Nutrafol. Shantira, what have you been doing other than picketing and trying to get an appointment to JPL? JPL?
Yeah, JPL. Laboratories. I have been gardening. Love it. Been trying to grow some food. That's pretty much what I do. I'm really in my grandma fun
gardening.
Uncle. Yeah, gardening era.
Wait, I have to ask you, did your grandma that passed, who's friends with my grandma that passed?
Yeah.
Did she play bridge?
I don't. She used to play gin. She used to play gin rummy, but I think she knows.
That's what I meant. Gin rummy.
Yeah, she used to play gin. We used to play gin together.
They're playing gin rummy together.
That is so cute.
I had like a weird meditation, like super weird vision, and your grandma popped in to say hi.
Oh, Grandma Caissie is nice.
Yeah, and she was just like, they were joking. My grandma was saying, it's like such a long story, but basically, they play gin rummy together.
That's so cute.
I know. Yeah, they play cards together.
My granny used to play gin with me on the weekends because that's where I would be and I wasn't cool. So I would just be at home.
Which one is gin?
It's like, I don't know how to play bridge, but you need like 4 people for bridge, right?
Yes.
For Jen, you only need 2, or at least the version she played with me. So they're playing it together. I don't really remember the rules, but you have to get sets of 2 or 3 or 4. And then
it's like, isn't it like Rummy Cub?
Yeah, it's kind of like Rummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought it was Rummy Cube. I never knew it was Rummy Cub.
I just had this conversation with our friend Natalie the other day, if it's Rummy Cub or Rummy Cube. I don't know. And
I don't know either. I'm
very terrible at it. I played one time at Emily Beebe's.
It's my favorite game ever.
I know. I played one time at Emily Beebe's and everybody taught me how to play. And then I won the second time and it made me feel like, oh, like I can hang with this game. I've been playing it on my phone and I get my ass kicked by people around the world every day.
I don't know about the phone though. I think that's weird. I don't trust anything where like a machine is picking your numbers for you.
Yeah, it's
that's true.
It's like where I want a real deck. I want a real deck.
Yeah,
I want a real deck.
It's true. Yeah. It's true.
Or tiles in the case of Rummy Cube. Rummy Cub Cube.
I don't think I've ever played this Rummy Cube game.
It's like it kind of has tiles like dominoes, but they're numbers instead. And I think
like mahjong. It's not. Oh wait, yeah. I guess dominoes too. Sorry.
Yeah,
you're right.
And I guess
my brain
wasn't
working.
I think it's kind of like Gin Rummy, although I've never played Gin Rummy. But I think it's I don't know.
Same ideas.
No, we only had the deck of cards. We didn't have any tiles. Granny was real loose with it. But I'm happy for playing. She's a very fun person to play gin with. So that's what I used to do on the weekend.
That's what our grandmas are doing together.
That's nice. I'm trying to retire and fucking do that. Shout out to them.
Busy. Don't have too many visions though right now because it'll scare me. I think you're too close to the veil.
This was a while ago. This was like a energy healing meditation sesh that I had last month
with professional energy healing supervision.
Yeah. And it was like really a while. I don't know why I haven't talked about it. Like, obviously I haven't like mentioned it on this podcast, but like,
that's what Granny's doing. Passing the time. She's just a kitty. It just
reminded me because Shantira, it was just so cute. Like, it's just so cute.
Wait, I have a question. I have a question, like energy healing wise. Do you guys like listen to like hertz? Do you like listen to sounds?
Yes.
Do you listen to those? Is there like a frequency you like? I'm just curious. I've been really into 417 hertz. And I was just wondering if you guys like have a hertz, a frequency that's like you're vibing to when you meditate, that you listen to in the bath.
I don't know.
Because like I have been listening to a lot of 417 hertz. That's like the one that I've been like really vibing to. And it's like called like I don't know how to pronounce it. And if it's like Italian, please don't message me about the pronunciation. Solfeggio. I like Solfeggio.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, I like that one. But then like I was like trying to find a noise that I liked. Because there's like white noise, brown noise, red noise, blue noise.
I listen to brown noise.
I do not like brown noise.
Okay, so most popular music, I think, throughout history, I don't know, musicians, you can tell me, is tuned to 440 hertz. But some musicians do something different where they tune it to 432 hertz.
Yes.
And Prince did that. Obviously, that's where I first heard about it. But then I found some playlists that are pop songs that are 432 hertz. And I like to listen to them. They're very relaxing to me. They sound very right to me.
That's so interesting. I just was interested in what kind of hertz you're listening to if you're doing that. I really tried brown noise, but like if you go to Wikipedia, shout out to Wikipedia, they have a little sample of all the different color noises.
Oh, so right. Like pink noise, white noise, brown noise. Some of that noise
is truly noise. It's terrible. I don't hate brown noise. It's just like not my vibe. It feels more like ASMR to me.
Which one is your favorite?
I didn't find a noise that I liked that I can listen to steadily. Brown was about as close as I could get to. Yeah. But I think that pink was the one when I was like, this is fucking crazy.
Pink is insane. Pink is insane.
That's interesting.
It's an insane noise. It's a noise, truly. It's a true noise. But
we were playing for the dogs, like because our dogs are very reactive. We were playing for them pink noise, white noise, brown noise, because there's channels. And so we were putting it on the TV. TV to try to cover up. And there's one that makes them go crazy. I think it's white noise. Like it makes them go wild and they can't stand it. But then that eventually segged into like just like rain channels and things like that, like playing rain for them. But then it segged into this channel that is my favorite, but everyone else in my family hates it. But it's a channel where literally the track is like old-fashioned phonograph playing through a screen door while you're on the porch listening and it's drizzling outside. So it'll be like...
It's too many noises, too many crackles, snap, crackles, and pops. I don't think I would. I don't think I could.
I'm going to send it to you and see what you think. See if you can't stand it, because like I thought that everybody doesn't like it because they say it's too ghostly, but I'm like, it really does what it says though. I'm kind of into it. I'm into it.
Okay, send it to me.
I'll send it to you because I know you like sad music.
I love sad shit. So
yeah. So I feel like it's kind of sad in a way.
Depression era vibraphone music through a screen door is probably gonna be my fucking top 10 Spotify playlist at the end of the year. Actually,
song about a passed away lover traveling through the Dust Bowl cloud storm.
Yes, a bop. I'll
muted
for hours at a time. Yes, I want that.
Oh my gosh. Poor Busy has retired to her sofa. She's lying down under a blanket. That's how she has to do this podcast.
You have to. I'm so grateful that you're willing to do this still, because you got to go to sleep after this.
I know. I've been sleeping all day.
You have to.
But like,
you have to go to
what's
sleep.
good is that the symptoms of sickness are kind of subsided a little bit. Like the cold stuff is gone. What is that?
But you can't
Gina?
smell.
What is that noise?
I do hear it. It's not a ghost. Or maybe it is, but I can hear it.
It feels like a ghost.
Well, tell them to get out because
Busy,
we're doing
stop
a podcast.
seeing ghosts. You're freaking me out.
It's okay. You just got to tell them to leave you alone. They can't do anything. You just got to be like, I'm doing a podcast, leave me alone. And they'll be like, that.
Ghosts get it. They subscribe to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah,
they know
they're just like, oh shit, girl, my bad. And then they just like,
you guys, what if that's how you know you're in hell? Is that you just like a constant podcast loop? just like God. You just have to listen to like that one with Jason
episode.
Bateman.
Yeah.
And like you just have to listen to like white guys talking.
Oh my God.
I literally saw my friend Asher Perlman does cartoons for New York Times or New Yorker. Sorry, Asher, if I'm butchering which one.
The New Yorker. I love Asher. He's so great.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, wait. You guys, just FYI, for my meditations,
yes,
the thing I play is at 432.
432 hertz is good.
There you go.
432 is good.
That's the good one.
I was doing 432 and then I saw about manifesting to 417. So I've been doing 417 as I like and doing my manifestations.
How do we get to what is 417?
It's just 417 hertz. That's
I know, but where do you find?
Oh, there's a playlist on Spotify that is called Public Playlist 417 HZ. Immersive, sacral, solfeggio.
Oh, I
frequency.
see. I see.
And the first one's my favorite. It's called Theta. Again, if I'm mispronouncing it, stay the fuck away from me. But that's the one I really like. It's the first one. It's a bop. It could be on repeat. But what Asher is great. He did a cartoon where literally somebody's like in hell and they're just like at an office job, and then like the devil is like, we figured that hell could just be like what you did every day anyway. And I was like, that feels apropos. And listen to that same podcast and just go to your cubicle. And I was like, that would be, if I go to hell and I got to go to work, I'm going to kill the devil. Like,
oh my gosh.
I'm going to second hell because I'm going to do some other shit.
Imagine if you had to go to a worse hell because you killed the boss of hell.
Honestly, no. I was looking at that picture of that man in that cubicle and I was like, damn, that's fucked up, man.
No, thank you.
So shout out to Asher. Go look at all of his work. He's fun. He's better than
love Asher. I'm busy. You've seen Asher's cartoons a million times, I bet, because if you have never met him, you know 1,000 people that know him, but he's a really funny cartoonist.
He's so and
a funny writer too.
He is so great. He's a good person. And here's the thing: he is a man, so I would never tell you anything good about a man unless it was true.
I do know that.
Oh my gosh! Do you ever listen to binaural beats?
Yes,
I do that too.
I love it.
Yeah,
maybe I need to get Birdie to start listening to binaural beats again.
Yeah, I love it. It's
I played them for her in the womb.
Oh, did you?
Oh my God, you guys. People thought I was insane. I had these like headphones and this binaural beats thing. And my mom was like, "Are you thumping at that baby again?" And I was like, "It's going to make her a genius." By the way, I mean, she is legit a genius. So I don't know if it was the beats or what, but
it's very soothing. It's like a nice background noise. I like fall asleep to them. I fall asleep to my Hertz. It's like something to listen to that's not like a person's voice.
Yes. I used to have them play it into the speakers that were underwater when I did flotation tank, like sensory deprivation tank.
I like that.
It was good. It was good.
Oh my God, you guys, right before I got COVID, I did sauna. Maybe this is what gave me COVID. No, I'm kidding. It didn't. I'm pretty sure I already had it, which is like also for my friend that I did it with. I'm like, eek. She's fine. But I did sauna and cold plunge.
Great. That's so good. That's so good for you.
Amazing.
Wow.
Maybe that's why I feel so much better. Yeah, you go back and forth.
Going back and forth from the heat to the cold is so good for your body.
You do like 20 minutes in the sauna and then you do 2 minutes.
Reset your vagus nerve. So like you can do it in the shower too. Like make sure you don't have any like blood pressure stuff because
because you can faint.
You can fucking faint. You can have a stroke and like again, don't be emailing me about some crazy shit. But
we're not doctors here.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna tell you what I do. It's like because I bought like one of those little cold plunges off the internet. Shout out to TikTok. But then like I just don't feel like filling it up with ice. So I've been doing like kind of cold shower where you just turn it to cold and then I'll be like, Alexa, set a timer for like 35 seconds and just let the cold water especially go over like my neck and the back of my head so that it helps like reset like all your
stuff. Have you ever done cryotherapy, those tanks?
Are they cold? The cold ones?
Yeah.
No, I haven't done cryo, but I did do this thing where it's like a oxygen, like one of the Kardashians has one in her house. It's
like the hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah, I did one of those things, and it was really cool. I liked it.
I've never done cryotherapy, but I do go into the refrigerated produce room at Costco, and I spend a really long time in there.
Yes. It's cold there.
It is cold, but the cryotherapy is really cold, you guys.
Yeah.
It's really cold.
I'm sure.
Did you like it? Did it feel good? Did you like...
I used to do it a lot. I think I did it when we were doing the TV show that we all did together.
Yeah. But did you how did you feel after? Like, what was it like? More like a mental clarity, or did your actual joints?
No, my body hurt less. Like like all all the stuff, like my knee problems. Just especially when I was working out so much. Shantira, I don't work out that much anymore.
You gotta tell me. Me neither, girl.
Yeah, I'm
out here picking tomatoes. That's my workout. Go get it.
I mean, to be fair, I do. Living in New York, I probably do walk
absolutely.
I was going to say you walk 20 miles a day.
I think I do. I walk a ton.
You should become a mailman.
I basically am. Also, I'm into the fashion.
Just earn a couple dollars on the side.
I get it. There's no minis.
My friend from Grizzly Bear became a therapist. He's a therapist now.
I saw that.
I saw that. Congratulations to you, Ed Drosty.
Yeah. If anyone needs a therapist, Ed Drosty taking new clients.
I think he'll be good at it, honestly.
People do need therapy so bad.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Wait, Busy, I want to tell you something. We're so happy to have Shantira back with us, but I want to tell you something that I think might cure your COVID a little bit.
Oh my God.
I invited a person on the podcast without running it by you first because I just thought that you would definitely like it. And they said yes, and they're excited. And so we just have to pick a date when we can record. Chris Fleming.
I love Chris
I know
Fleming.
of them. They're stand-up.
Yes. Yeah.
I told Chris Fleming you'd be so excited.
I am so excited. Oh my God. They have a new special called Hell. And I have to tell you, it is so insane and so funny.
I have to watch it. I think I know who directed it. Who directed it? I'll look at. Again, it's like that little stint of time that I dipped my toe in Brooklyn.
Right.
I am like 1 degree separated from like all those people.
Do you feel like, Shantira, has this time made you want to like do more improv or get back on that stage?
Not more improv, but more performing for sure. Like I did some stand up at the Laugh Factory when I was in Chicago, and then I did Wait, Don't Tell Me, which was like really nice to be like in a crowd full of people.
Yeah, congratulations! That was so cool.
It was so fun. It was so fun. So like I think that like it. Less improv or like less like I don't want to be on a Herald team anymore, like God bless, but like been there, done that. But like I do like doing like panel shows and like doing like a fun stand-up show or something like that. But like my desire to do 11 shows a week has faded. My desire to do like 1 or 2 shows every 2 weeks has been revitalized. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
But you wouldn't want to like guest jump into an improv. You don't like improv? Oh, you would.
I love improv. I love it. I think that one of the things too, that as I've gotten older, I think that like I'm more weary of just like doing things with people I don't know, like on stage. It's like, I would really like, I feel like when you're just starting, like you are like, oh my God, I just need time. I'm trying to get my 10,000 hours, but I got 25,000 hours. So like, I'm not trying to perform with people that I don't trust or that that aren't like super vetted, because it's like in a lot of emotional labor to be like, even outside of performing, if you've ever been like at a dinner table and somebody can't read the room and you're like stressed, I have very bad like secondhand embarrassment. I have very bad like, ooh, this is not going well for that person.
It's your empathetic cancer side.
It's like the Al-Anon in me. Go look it up, everybody. So like,
I have the same, which is why improv was always so fucking hard for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I get so uncomfortable for other people.
Yeah. So like, I think that you are like really learning to live in that uncomfortability when you're like trying to get your hours and learn what to do when something like bad happens. But like, I don't do that no more. Like, if I'm performing with you, like, there should not be anything fucked up happening. It shouldn't be weird. And like,
you're not stressed. You're not going to be stressed.
I'm not going to be stressed. Yeah. So like, I think that when I was really trying to get my time in, my hours in, I wanted to perform a lot. I had never done it, but I've really done a lot of performing. So now I just like to do it with my friends for something fun, something cool every once in a while.
I want to see you in on a panel show, like at Largo or something.
Yeah, it's really fun. I like that stuff. I also think that like it's kind of like a podcast though, but like being able to be like fun and be yourself is very fun. And a lot of times with improv, it's like you are pretending to be other people. You're coming up with all these characters. It's a lot of extra work where you can just kind of be like, kiki with your buds. That's
I was going to say, that's what I was thinking when you were talking about improv, is that like, not to say like you're the character or whatever, but like people love your personality. So I think they like to watch your personality, and they can do that for a really long time. So if you can just do that and people enjoy it. Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. But like, I used to be in an improv group. Well, I still am, but we don't do shows every Monday night at 10:30 anymore. My improv group, 3P, it was like an all Black group because improv is very white. And then I don't know if y'all know this, but y'all white people be fucking up, and secondhand embarrassment from white people is crazy. So
you're aware.
You do enough improv with a 23-year-old straight white man, and you'll be like, you know what? I don't know if I can do this every night with you surprising me with your takes. So we had like this all Black group, and it was really cool because I had never the whole time that I was in Chicago is very Black, but it's also like the most segregated city in America. Like factually, like they built the Dan Ryan in the middle of the city so that everybody is segregated. So like when you do improv, it's very much on the north side, which is very white. So when I was doing improv, I have never taken an improv class with a Black woman or been taught by a Black woman.
Wow.
Jesus. And I took like year-long programs. I took 5 separate year-long programs.
I mean, that's like how, like...
They're there, but we were all spread out. Like, I was there at the same time as Ashley Nicole Black, but we just never had a class together. And there were only so many of us, you know? So they were like, we all had jobs and we picked our own schedule, but I had never had a class with another Black woman. So when that group, when 3P came along, it was like, y'all want to perform together? That'd be cool. We've seen each other around. And then the safety, I think it's the same thing. Like, obviously, like if you're not Black, but like if you are like a woman and you're like on an all woman team, you're like, oh my gosh, there's safety there. But like if men, Black, white men out there, if you're a firefighter and you get to do something with all firefighters, don't you feel better than if you're just somebody who like understands your firefighter lingo? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like, oh, but once you do that, it's like hard to go back. It's like hard to go back to like being surprised by some fucked up shit at 10 o'clock at night than to be with like 4 Black women just chilling.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes so much sense.
Shantira, I know you're at least going to be invited to an upcoming improv show because your friend Lincoln, my son, is
doing improv.
He's doing improv.
I will come support him.
But it's interesting what you say because like he's in a group and he's talking about like, you know, they get together and practice. And I was like, did you guys like try to connect with any women and get some women in the group? And he was like, they like want to do their own thing, which is like a bummer because I'd love to work with women, but I get it. Like I get, so, you know, I'll come support his all male improv group.
I also think like, I don't know. I think the younger kids are different. I wonder if they are, but I think they are.
Well, I think that Lincoln is a special angel baby that I would die for. So I'm just going to assume that he can do anything good. But I also think that like when I was coming up, it's so interesting. Like people are always talking about like millennials and Gen Z, but like millennials were very much the first people in the improv world I can speak of who would be like, hey, I didn't like that. But then we never did anything about it. Like for a really long time. But we were just like, before nobody said anything. But then we would be like, hey, we don't really like him. That's not cool. We should when we write our teacher evaluations, we should say something. Like honestly. But like I think that in that 10 years since I like have been doing it like pretty regularly, like the next generation of like men and women and theys, non-binary people, will be like in class and be like, don't fucking do that. Before we used to have it happen in class and then go dissect it at a bar, they dissect shit in the middle of the class, which I think is very helpful. And it used to be like so many comedians or just like marginalized people in the arts would just leave. Like it would be like one bad experience and then it would be like a couple bad experiences and then like all the nuanced, kind, empathetic Al-Anon people would just be like, I'm never doing this again. But now we're always like, you fucking leave, bad person.
Right.
You leave.
Oh, element, replenish your electrolytes with element. What is element? Element is a very tasty electrolyte drink mix that has everything you need, nothing you don't. Lots of salt, no sugar. It contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio. 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, 60 milligrams magnesium. No junk, no sugar, no coloring, no BS, no artificial ingredients. Electrolytes, in case you don't know, facilitate hundreds and hundreds of functions in your body, including the conduction of nerve impulses, hormonal regulation, nutrient absorption, and fluid balance. It helps prevent and eliminate headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue. I've been taking it now while I've been sick. It is very helpful. Also, when you sweat, if you're a person like me, you know I'm a sweater. The primary electrolyte that you lose is sodium. When sodium is not replaced, it's common to experience muscle cramps and fatigue. I am a huge believer in the importance of electrolytes and replenishing your electrolytes, even just in your everyday. I think we get depleted and we don't know it. And we're like, ugh, I have a headache. Ugh, I don't feel good. Ugh. And we take medicine. And the truth is, if you replenish your electrolytes, you'll be amazed. You start to feel so much better. Right now, Element is offering our listeners a free sample pack with any order. It's 8 single serving packs free with any Element order, which is a great way to try all 8 flavors, or you can share Element with a friend. Get yours at Drink Element. That's how you spell it. LMNT.com/best. drinkelement.com/best. This deal is only available through our special link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/best and try it totally risk-free. If you don't like it, give it away. Give it to a friend. And Element will give you your money back, no questions asked. So you have nothing to lose. And only electrolytes to gain. I know you've heard us talk about how much we love our delicious wild green, having a freezer full of fresh, ready-to-bake, delicious options from Wild Green. And there's nothing like the smell of fresh baked bread coming out of the oven. Listen, I can't keep a sourdough starter alive. You know that about me. Thank God I don't have to because of Wild Green. Get Wild Green. Try Wild Green. They have incredible bake from frozen sourdough breads, fresh pastas, artisanal pastries delivered right to your door. It's the first ever bake from frozen subscription box for such delicious items. And unlike typical supermarket bread, Wild Grain uses this slow fermentation process that is definitely easier on your belly, lower in sugar, rich in nutrients and antioxidants. You know, I've talked about this before, but I have, historically speaking, struggled a bit with my tummy, especially when it comes to the bread products. And honestly, I have no issues with my Wild Grain. I love it so much. And here's something new. You can now fully customize your Wild Grain box so you can get any combination of breads, pastas, and pastries that you want. If you want a box full of all bread, you can do it. All pasta, done. All pastries, it's for you. Plus, there's a new option, large box with 12 items in it, which is perfect for either bigger families or, you know, high holidays are coming up, then the regular holidays are coming up. You never risk getting bored with Wild Grain because they always add new seasonal and limited time special items. And for every new member, Wild Grain donates 6 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank so you can eat good and do good all at the same time. Have I convinced you yet? It is so delicious, you guys. I'm serious. You should try it. All you have to do is sign up at wildgrain.com/busy, choose which type of box you want to receive and how often. It's very easy to reschedule, to skip, or to cancel. Plus, for a limited time, you can get $30 off the first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/busy to start your subscription. That's right. You heard me. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/busy. That's wildgrain.com/busy, or you can use the promo code BUSY at checkout. Guys, can I ask you about something that I don't know if we want to get into it, but I want to because I have no guards.
About Jimmy Fallon?
I want to ask about you, what your thoughts were about Jimmy Fallon. A, B, what your thoughts are about Drew Barrymore going back, because I just saw that too. And like people are freaking out. Well, like they're like going to pick it for show. But
okay.
the Jimmy Fallon article, to me,
let me tell you something about Jimmy Fallon.
What?
I'm going to tell you something about Jimmy Fallon.
I want to hear.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knew.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody knew, right? And if anybody is confused or doesn't believe it, that's their business. But this is what I'll tell you to go do. Go look at Jimmy Fallon's IMDb for his show. And then go look at Seth Meyers'
Right.
IMDb for his show. And I want you to look at the turnover.
Right.
I want you to look at the amount of writers, not just showrunners. I want you to look at the amount of writers on those shows. I want you to look at the demographic of those writers. And I want you to see how long they lasted at that show. Now, if you go to Seth Meyers, them motherfuckers been there since day one.
Seriously. Like Seth's team is like
very low turnover.
Yeah.
And even in that, those people are there for years. If you go look at Jimmy Fallon's turnover, especially POC and queer people, you'll see they're there for one season. I don't have to say shit else about that.
Right.
You can just go look at the scroll that you got to do. Now, take that turnover and put it on any other job and tell me, would you be like, why so many people be leaving after a year?
Right.
Right.
So, but that ain't never stopped the white man, and that ain't never stopped him from not getting fired, and everybody knew. But
obviously it's been like, how long has he had that show for?
Forever. But
for 9 years. They said 9 showrunners in 9 years, I think, in the article.
He's only had that show for 9 years?
Well, he had another show before. So it was
right.
Yeah, it was like before, because he's doing
because he had the late show, and then
he had the show that Seth has now, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then Mike Shoemaker stayed with Seth. And then he's gotten a new showrunner ever since.
Right.
So I think it's one of those things where like everybody who, I also think that late night is very interesting because like people don't really think about that as a writer's room. When people think about like, when people watch Succession, they're like the writers of Succession. When people watch Jimmy Fallon, they're not like, whoa, those writers tonight. Like they're not online talking about that. He's the face. So like, I think that people really separate the face of these people for late night from where a lot of material comes from.
When in fact, being in the writer's room for like a daily late night show or any type of daily show is really intense. Like it's a fucking grind.
Yeah.
And busy, by the way, I'm just going to say now, because I don't think I signed an NDA, but like the last time they hired a showrunner of The Tonight Show and I talked on the podcast about going to interview for a really big job, that's the job that I interviewed for.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it.
You didn't sign an NDA, did you?
I don't think so. I mean, fucking come get me, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, fucking come for her.
It's busy, you know?
But I was just envisioning. Well, I was envisioning that I probably would have gotten myself fired very quickly if it was, if it was that tough of a place to work at.
I just was like, I think you should go through the process because it's like, this is the business that you work in, but I don't think you want that fucking job at all. And like, and I think that it's a
also
blessing.
Nice just to interview, just to be like, I interviewed for that. And it's like, that's good. Like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the opportunity and who they chose. Like, oh yeah, I interviewed for that, but I didn't get it. It's okay. Like just being up for it is good. But like everybody knew about that. And I think that when I say that, it's not like we all knew and we were covering, right? It is literally exposed and all of those people were anonymous. So I think that that's a thing too. Like we're really in a day and age where like less people are anonymous. I'm not saying that people always are, but less people are willing to like be like, I will only say something off the record.
Right.
That article, every person is anonymous in that article. That means they're like scared still.
Well, because they want to work again.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know. I think that there is that because the article came out about loss. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Yes.
Like, that's sort of like, ma'am? Gina's a huge fan. She's a fan of Lost. She doesn't want. She wants to go on the balcony and like look at the birds. Hold on.
Yes, that article.
I do too.
That article about Lost.
The same thing for the Lost article. A lot of those people were anonymous, and there was like one Black woman who's very much fully into the depths of her career who was like, I'm not anonymous, put my whole goddamn government name in there. First, middle, and last. I want everybody to know what's going on. But I will say this, like Jimmy Fallon's show is that we're going to get real, and we can cut this out if you want, but this is what I'll say. Jimmy Fallon's show has always been very, very young and very white. And I'll say this about a lot of young white people. We talked about this before. They will polite their way. Politeness, it will get you in trouble. And whiteness is often synonymous with politeness when it comes to confrontation.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that young white people, when we talk about like privilege, obviously, like there's a bunch of privilege shit we can talk about, like more money for your schools. One of the things that is inherent in whiteness or in white privilege is that people will be nice to you.
Right.
Like it's inherent that there is kindness in the world for your existence. Young people of color, I'm told immediately, these white people will not be nice to you. So like by the time that I am of age, 22, 23, I already had to cuss out an old white man.
Right.
But when you're like a 21-year-old Ivy League white person, the odds of a drunk man screaming at you are so small, right?
Yeah.
So I think that they fill these rooms with people who are just inherently taught that confrontation is not something that we do. We're very polite. But also the expectation that a grown man would yell at you is crazy. Like that's one of the things that always, but I was taught, and I think a lot of people of color are taught that like when you're 13, a random white woman might just scream at you in the store. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when we get to these shows and we really look at the demographic, I'm not saying that like white people are more inherent to be abused at work. I'm saying that confrontation is not a part of their upbringing, this specific demographic. So like, it's a lot of confusion going on when a white man comes in that's supposed to be like Kiki and his persona, and he's like throwing shit at you. Like it's literally fight or flight. Like you don't know what to do. And also 21 is a baby. Right. That's a baby. Like you're just a baby. Like I would call my mom. I'd be like, Mom, today I went to work and my boss threw something at me. My boss yelled at me. My boss did something so verbally abusive. And it's like, you do not have, like, historically, like, you don't know what to do.
Right. It's interesting to me. I mean, I guess he got on a Zoom with the staff and apologized, is what I read. But and NBC had a statement, and like we've seen this on so many shows though, where I'm just like, oh man, I don't know.
It's really confusing to me too. Like, and maybe confusing is not the right word, but like, it's really frustrating to me. Yeah. That like, he's apologizing to his current crew. Right. But I'm like, is that who he's doing it to? Like, I need like more specifics. I also just like, I need a whistleblower. I need somebody to sit down with Gayle King and be like, look, let me tell you what's going on. And I think that like, that is the thing that's so hard, is that like all these people are anonymous, and rightfully so. They like want to keep their jobs, their careers, but that's really
but that's the issue in this industry, like, which is why people don't speak up more, which is that if you do, then you're labeled whatever, and
difficult
then
and problematic.
And problematic, and then you don't get hired again.
Yes.
Like,
well, I think
that's what's insane, when it's like the person that has the issues is the person who's doing with the egregious behavior, not the person that's like, hey, actually that's egregious behavior and not something that we should be putting up with.
I think that's the thing too. It's like he did a Zoom apology, and I like, are they going to take his show away? Absolutely not. Is he going to change? I don't think so. Like, that's me. But like, also, I ain't scared of Jimmy Fallon. What the fuck he's finna do to me? Like,
right.
I'm not trying to work on the Jimmy Fallon show.
That's exactly right.
He's not going to invite me to come do improv on his show. Okay, well, I think Seth would invite me to be on his show. You know what I mean? So like, I think that like there is this thing where it's just like, oh, like people who are in the business of trying to be late night writers, which are usually like a lot of younger people trying to get into the industry.
Yeah, it's like a first step.
We know that he is the way that he is, but we also know that like we need a credit. And like if I could just get through 1 year, if I could just get one credit, if I could just get a credit and get out, that is the thing that we're all trying to do. But the fish rots from the head down. And I think that like I don't know who is next to him but like the reason that he behaves that way is because the top people up there, somebody is his boss. Somebody is his boss. Like, who is his boss? And like, I don't know. I just think it's like very frustrating. But yeah, I would say everybody new, go look at the IMDb and look at the motherfucking turnover. And you'll be like, damn, everybody leave this motherfucker after like 6 months.
Oh my gosh. I think it's also like, what's really interesting to me is like, well, Busy, we've talked about this before too. Like we've been around since the 90s and so much has changed culturally and professionally since that time. But also like a Jimmy Fallon, also around since that time. And so you can say like, oh, he's from another time or whatever. But like, I'm also like, well, but if you've had Miley Cyrus on your show, then clearly you can learn a new thing because Miley Cyrus wasn't around like when we started. You know what I mean? So you're capable of learning like a new concept in the form of a person or new TV shows or whatever. But also it's like, I think that people running these companies are also from a time where nobody was minding the store in any way. And like now it's like people have platforms. Like people know how to reach out to Rolling Stone.
That's the difference. The difference is social media.
Yeah. Social media. And that's why Republicans were like, we got to get rid of TikTok. I've learned so much from TikTok, but I do think that another thing, I'm just back after 3 years, but we're going to talk about white supremacy. The infantilization of white men.
Yep.
Is the root of all of this.
Yes. Yeah.
They get to be boys. They get to be confused. And let's remove TV out of it. Like if you work in the office and Bill is 65 and he don't know how to do a PDF, that is the infantilization of that man.
Right.
And the infantilization of white men, like when they get in trouble, all of a sudden they're a young boy who needs their life to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're 27. And it's like, we do that with Jimmy Fallon. If we picked all 5 of the white men who are on late night, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Seth, Colbert, and then, am I missing one? It's 5, and John Oliver.
No, I was going to say what's his name? The British guy.
Corden.
John Oliver. John Oliver.
No, the one. CBS.
James Corden.
James Corden, but he quit.
But he's done now.
He's done. But like, if
but I would still talk about him because he was like more of a.
But let's say those 6 people. If we were to be like, who's the little boy of that group?
Right.
Who's the boy?
Right.
Everybody's going to be like,
knows.
Jimmy.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon's the little boy.
He's the little boy. Out of all the 6 men, Colbert's a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
And Colbert treats everybody nice. Go look at his fucking shit. Ain't nobody leaving. It's people from Comedy Central on that show with Colbert because he's a grown-ass man.
He like, I don't know if you know this, Shantira, but Carrie Bialik, who was his like publicist forever. My old manager, Carrie Bialik. You remember her? She now runs his company.
Yeah, because he's a grown man.
Right. He was like, you were my publicist. Then she was like, kind of like sharing, doing some sort of, when she became a manager, he was like, well, I already have a manager, but I can't lose you on my team. So was still paying her to like consult, which is an insane thing to do. But he just didn't want to lose her because she's so smart.
Yeah.
And then he was like, had his own company that was, like production company deal and hired her as the head of his company, and they're killing it
because he's a grown man and he knows how to retain talent. And the way that you keep retention is being kind and being a good boss.
Right.
So like people want to stay with you. People will take less money to be with kind people, right?
100%.
So like I think that it all comes down to like we're all like, oh, it's the infantilization. Like we all, anytime they do something, oh my God, that boy did that. Baby Jimmy boy, little baby Jimmy, the babiest of all the white men who get multi-million dollars for their shows at night. Oh my God, little baby Jimmy is the babiest of them all. He does the most improv on his show. So like,
right.
So I think that like that is the thing too, because like even when people are like, I can't believe he did that, it is rooted in his boyness,
right?
Not in his manness. Because if Colbert did that, they'd be like, oh my God, like I'd be scared. Because
do you guys want to hear? Do you want to hear my idea for what I would do right now if I was in charge of?
Yes, please.
I would ask Jimmy to come out and make a statement and say, some rough things have happened at the show. I need to go do some work to like get it together based on what I've heard and what I've learned. So I'm going to do that. In the interim, David Letterman will become the host of The Tonight Show. And then David Letterman will become the host of The Tonight Show. Just like he got boned out of doing by Jay Leno and like back in the day, it would make huge headlines. Dave Letterman's the host of The Tonight Show finally for like whatever, 2 months.
And then he goes to rehab. He goes to like emotional rehab or whatever he needs.
Maybe whatever. Him and give it to Ashley Nicole Black.
That too. I was thinking,
Jimmy, give it to Ashley Nicole Black or Amber Ruffin. Give it to one of them, and then we won't have no problems with nobody being rude to nobody.
Before like every interview I ever had for any show after Busy Tonight, like whenever people would be like, what would you do with the show? I would always say, oh, I would fire that person and hire Amber Ruffin to host it.
Yeah.
And like, then they'd be like meeting over. But I feel like I was correct. She got a late night show and we love it. So, And
I just said Ashley Cole, but she probably don't even want that fucking job. But I do know we wouldn't have no Deadline articles about her.
No,
except for ones with her being really nice and buying people presents and letting people pet her dog. So I'm just saying, like, we pet people. But I think, it's so interesting. Like, people know, but like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? Like, I think that the problem a lot of times is like, people being like, you all knew. Girl, I'm a staff writer.
Right.
What do you want from me?
What? It's like, I'm just a baby. I'm just a little girl. Like,
right.
Like, I'm just a little girl. The contracts are 13 weeks. People don't know that too. Like, people are like, oh, late night. Oh, those are on. Like, they're very stable because like nobody's canceling the Tonight Show. Like, like as opposed to like other shows that after one or two seasons.
I mean, as someone who had a show canceled.
Yes, but you're not a white man.
That's so true. So true.
So true. Shows. So like people are like, oh, if you get a writing job there, you set forever. Them contracts is 13 weeks, baby.
No, 13 weeks.
If Mr. Jimmy don't like you after fucking 3 months, that's a wrap.
I will never forget when I worked for Dave. We had like a swag closet full of stuff, and this really, really nice guy who I was a fan of before he ever came, like was made a writer. And on his first day, I was like, stop by and say hi at my office. And he did. And I was like, let me get you like a sweatshirt or whatever swag. And he was like, no, I feel it would be bad luck to let me just make it through my first cycle and then I'll come and get a sweatshirt. And I was like, no, come on, don't be ridiculous. So I made him like take a hoodie or whatever. And he sure enough got fired after 13 weeks.
And here's the thing, after 13 weeks, he would have got a sweatshirt anyway. I would have took everything in the closet. Do not light yourself out of free shit. Because after you get fired, you deserve 27 sweatshirts.
Well, who wants it at that point? Who even wants the reminder? But yeah, I did kind of curse that guy. I'm sorry, sir.
No,
wherever you are, I'm sure you're fine.
I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's doing perfectly fine.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Listen, here's the thing. I think we've all had moments in our lives where we need a little bit of assistance to get through the moment. Therapy is the thing that does that. It really does. Whether it's like, you can't sleep because you have so many thoughts. It's a lot. There's a lot happening in the world. There's a lot happening in your world. Combine it all together. It can cause a lot of anxiety and feelings that you might even not even be aware it's affecting the way that you're responding to your family, your friends, yourself, the way that you're speaking to yourself. And therapy is honestly, truly an invaluable piece of helping us all make it through. And I'm not talking about just like watching some therapy Instagrams or therapy TikToks and then feeling like, oh no, I got it. I got it because in that 30 seconds, now I know that I have avoidant attachment or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I understand the inclination, but nothing quite does the trick like actual therapy. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, honestly, give BetterHelp a try because it's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient and flexible and suited to your schedule. So you can't say like, oh, I work a job. My weekends I'm with my kids. I don't have time. BetterHelp will figure it out with your schedule. You fill out a little questionnaire, you get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge if it doesn't vibe with you, which is fine. Sometimes that happens. You know, there's not therapy. This is what I want to say. If you're just thinking about it or you're just starting or this is like a new thing for you, therapy is not like a one therapist fits all situation. Sometimes you have to like talk to a couple people, almost like interview and see who's the right fit for you. You'll know. Listen, get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. I truly can't recommend therapy enough. So visit betterhelp.com/busy today and you'll get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/busy. Lumi. Listen, guys. Booty BO. Sounds pretty dumb when I say it out loud. But if you have it, it's not that funny, I don't think. That's why everyone loves Lumi. It's the world's best whole body deodorant. It's clinically proven to control odor everywhere. Pits, privates, and beyond. Bottom of your feet. For a whopping 72 hours. As an OBGYN, Lumi's founder, Dr. Shannon Klingman, met thousands of women concerned with odor below the belt. And through clinical testing, she discovered, guess what? It's not the vagina that's to blame. It's bacteria on your skin. So she created Lumi, which is a pH-optimized, aluminum-free deodorant that actually works and works everywhere with over 150,000 five-star reviews to prove it. Guys, here's the special offer. New customers get $5 off Lumi's starter pack with code BEST at lumideodorant.com. I personally love the cream. It's cream tube deodorant. Oh my God. 72 hours it lasts. So it's more than all day. It's a couple days. But the cream tube deodorant is definitely key. I like the solid stick deodorant. The whole body deodorant literally is safe to use anywhere on your body. Under boobs, between your boobs. I do that because sometimes when I sweat so much when I work out and I've just started noticing like my sports bras, I'm like, ugh, gross. But now I use the Lumi cream deodorant right in there. It's great. And it's baking soda free, aluminum free, and paraben free, which is very important in my household. And pH balanced. pH balanced. Listen, you can also use it on your little children's feet. Just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Or use the deodorant wipes on their little feet, which is what I do. So Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant. That's the one I'm obsessed with. And 2 free products of your choice. So you could get like a mini body wash. You can try the deodorant wipes and free shipping. How amazing is that? And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off the Lumi starter pack with code BEST at lumideodorant.com. That's over 40% off your starter pack. when you visit lumideodorant.com and use code BEST. You should try it. You're going to love it. I promise. Love you, Lumi.
Yeah, speaking of what you mentioned, Drew Barrymore, Biz.
Yeah.
I know. I was just like, I don't understand exactly what's happening, but I'm also confused. Her show is a WGA show.
It's a WGA show. It had writers.
But then now she's like,
they're going to
we're
go
just
back
going to
to
go
the
back
new
anyway.
season without writers.
That's interesting.
I mean, I get it. Like, I get the instinct to be like, this isn't like the PA's fault and the crew's fault and everything. So like we can put everybody back to work. But I just think that like if it's a scripted show to begin with, you have to stick with that and be in solidarity.
But then also not to be an asshole, but like who are your guests? Like who's coming on the show and what are they promoting?
I'm sure she'll have
so then she's just like, I'll just have people
human interest and
aren't promoting
business people and authors.
I have a SAG question. I have so as a WGA, members of the WGA, one of the things too, like Deadpool with the Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah.
They shut it down. But one of the reasons before the SAG strike, because a lot of Deadpool bloopers is them improvising, right?
Right.
You cannot improvise because that's basically writing.
Right.
So
correct.
even if there is no script, everything you're saying is a script. If it's
except a talk show is unscripted.
Yeah, except for unscripted talk shows like
it's reality.
Okay, like the more like Kelly, Ripa, and Mark, like Kelly and Mark.
I always say the wrong co-host for Kelly. I'm always like a decade behind.
Her husband's on the
Yes.
It's her husband. That's her husband.
Yeah. Ryan's gone. Now it's Mark.
Ryan's gone. It's
Mark Consuelos. Yes,
yeah.
Great Mark Consuelos.
To be honest with you, I have done that show and it is very unscripted. I have co-hosted that show. They do not script you at all. The producers will write like a bump in for you, like coming up next, you're going to see this person. But the producer writes that, like the producing segment producer. But the rest of it is like you're just on your own.
It's like, just off the cuff and it has like, it's not really intense preparation, right?
No.
I mean, like it's hard work, but it's not intense preparation. They come in the morning. Here's what happens. Like Gelman comes in the morning, the producer. Yeah.
And he shows you like the different news stories that are like, that they'd be interested in, that are like, you know, sort of like middle of the road enough for them to talk about on their show. And then if you're like, that's funny, or I like that one, then he's like, oh, okay, so Kelly likes that too. So you guys could talk about that.
Right.
And then it's like personal stuff. It's like a podcast kind of.
She's been doing it so long.
Right.
I mean,
truly.
Yeah. Basically.
It's like anything that you've been doing for a long time, you could be like, I don't know, girl. We can talk about anything. I'm Kelly.
Truly.
And also,
so
I will say, like,
talks.
as a producer, like, she's so great at it and makes it seem so easy. And every person that ever guest hosts it, I feel like comes away being like, I could do this. I think she's like an excellent advertisement for doing that kind of thing. Anyway.
Yeah, I was just confused about just going back to Drew Barrymore. I was just kind of, but like, even if, and like, this is just me trying to like, I want to be like very rich, but like, just pay them if you're so worried about them not having any money. You're Drew Barrymore of the Barrymores. Am I not? She's from a family, like an iconic movie family, correct?
I don't know that she's rich from being a Barrymore, but
I think she's probably rich from like one of the 4,700 like different things that she like.
Just
her
in general,
Walmart
like
line.
I think that like even if not, like also the fish rots from the head down, somebody over there got enough money to pay a fucking PA. Like it's not like we paying like WGA writing fees that's a lot of money. PAs are making $20 an hour. Like, be fucking for real. You don't have to do this. Just pay them. Somebody, I'm not saying it got to be her. But if what you're saying is, oh, like, I think that everybody needs to come back to work, a lot of those people are working, they're not making union money the way that the WGA or SAG union minimums are. A lot of that IATSE minimums are like, assistants get $23 an hour. Like, somebody with a placard on their office can afford, everybody take 2 and do it for 6.
Right.
That's what I would do. But I'm broke.
Here's the thing. All of these things are just constructs, right? They're all like these sets of rules, and then
like gender.
Like the police.
Like the police. Like the police and the gender of police, all of these things. And I think like people can just decide, like people can rationalize in their mind. For me, the sticking point is like, I don't mind Live with Kelly and whoever is the co-host at this time going on because it was always unscripted, as you were saying. But now I
don't think they have a deal with the WGA.
Right.
Even.
They don't have they're not a WGA signatory. They don't have writers. They don't
Neither does Watch What Happens Live.
Right, exactly. Because it's just like Andy Cohen going on TV live at 11 o'clock saying
and
whatever he wants.
To reality TV people, mostly.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like if you were a show with writers before and now you're going to go forward without them, like to me, that's saying something, right? Because you're not really like a signatory then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's changing horses kind of midstream.
Well, it's also like, okay, so when the strike's over, do we get our jobs back if you were able to do this without us?
And
like,
maybe not necessarily. Who knows? Yeah. They might decide it works better without, you know?
Yeah, that's
which also would fucking suck.
Yeah.
Which would suck. If it was me as like if I was in charge of Drew's show, I think I would have suggested like
this is my new favorite segment, Caissie.
If it was me, I would have suggested doing a different show. You know what I mean? Like if you want to come back, do a fully unscripted, maybe stripped down, pared down show, maybe without an audience, something that was totally different so that you could say like it's a different format.
Let me tell you. Okay, so like if I was Kelly Clarkson, which I think would be very cool, like again, no shade.
You'd be a great Kelly Clarkson.
You would be a good Kelly Clarkson.
In a parallel universe, if I had them vocals, I'd be singing right now. I would never fucking talk show singing. I would sing every sentence out of my mouth. Like I think about like just the option of like trying to keep people's jobs or whatever. Like if I was Kelly Clarkson, just straight up Kelly karaoke. Like I'm gonna do 3 songs a day.
Yeah.
And you come in, you tune in, everybody write in. Kelly, if you do this, I want a producer credit. But you come in and what do we know her for? Like, what do we love about her? Like, she comes and every time she sings a song, can't nobody sing it no more.
She covers a song.
Right. It's like, so that's hers. So it's like, okay, like if this is just an example, I was saying, like, if we wanted to do some stuff that was completely like off the cuff, if she was like, okay, like we don't have nobody, whatever. So anytime I have a guest, I just do duets. I just do songs for 30 minutes and every day somebody come and watch me do my thing. So like there are ways to do this kind of stuff. So like I don't know what Drew Barrymore's thing, but like she been in 47 fucking things. She could come and be like, you know what I'm gonna do? Like we're gonna do trivia about my career because I've been out here since I was 8. Every day, every week, we're gonna like do a whole trivia about a movie that I was in.
Right.
And like we can make it into like some kind of unscripted game show or some shit. There's absolutely people who've been in the industry long enough that you could do stuff just based off of like her career. It doesn't have to be like this. So like I give nobody grace. I think everybody can be better. I think that if you sat down for 5 minutes, you can think of some shit that doesn't alienate 2 unions. And like that's all. But Kelly,
I think that you're right. I think you're right.
You're hitting on so many things today that are reminding me of very specific moments in which I brick by brick dismantled my own career in comedy for hire. Because you just reminded me of one time I had a meeting with some execs at CBS about like they were looking to do something with Corden and they brought me in to ask what I would do. And I was like, oh, carpool karaoke only. Get rid of the rest of the show. Nobody cares. And they were like, oh my, ooh, that's terrible. And I was
they did that. And then they did that.
Yeah. But did I work on it? No.
They They should give you money. But I think everybody should.
I'm too honest in those meetings. I'm like, fire everyone, hire Amber Ruffin, cut out 2/3 of the show, and replace Jimmy with David Letterman.
I had an interview for a show, and I was too honest. So I had a show that was like run by men. It was going to be directed by men, and it was written by men. And I got to the show, and they were like, do you have any notes on the pilot? And like, I don't really like to be giving notes away for free, but I needed a job. And I was like, this script does not pass the Bechdel test. And the problem with that is like, okay, like some shit doesn't. But they had a scene where like 2 women were in bed together.
No.
And then I was like,
2 women were in bed together talking about men.
Talking about men. They literally fucked. And then the post-coital conversation was about a man. And then I was like, hey, please don't do this. I did not get that job.
Oh my God. Well, a friend of ours who's an actor, on her, like, they have everybody self-taping now because like they're never going to go back to like in-person auditions, I don't think. And she was putting herself on tape for this show. And at the end of her tape, I was so proud of her because she knew she wasn't going to get the job. And like, it's always like, it's 1,000,000 to 1 that you're going to get the job anyway, but you do want to make a good impression on the people. But at the end of the tape, she was like, listen, this probably isn't doing me any favors auditioning for this, but I just want to let you know that like the way that you talk about this fat character in your script is fairly horrifying, which is a shame because I think the script is funny. And so my hope is that, and I'm not expecting to be in this show, but my hope is that when I see this show on TV later, that you'll have given some thought to like writing this fat character better than you have in this pilot. And so thank you. And I was like so proud of her that she did that. But yeah, she didn't get the role. But also like, I'll be curious if they ever come back to her for anything else.
Yeah, it's so interesting. You just gotta really bide your truth telling. And sometimes it's not that you don't want to tell the truth, but like it's a lot of emotional labor to give somebody the truth. Cause like you'd be like,
it's scary.
All right, let me try to help you, even though you're in a position of power and it doesn't matter. You don't have to listen to my help, but I can't in good conscience leave you weirdos like this.
Oh my God. Busy, have you ever just like radically told the truth in like an audition or an interview situation and like disemboweled yourself?
What in God's name do you think?
I mean, obviously I know the answer is yes.
One time it ended up with us getting a television show 4 nights a week.
True.
So that
when they were trying
out.
For like one, they were like,
they wanted us to do 1 night a week. I was in the fucking O'Hare airport.
I'd rather not do
call. And I was like, absolutely not. Nope. Here's what I'm going to say. You got to go for it. You have to do it. Whatever. That was insane. But I don't know. Like, I think I got to a point acting wise where like, if I disagreed with the way that a character was written or what, I just wouldn't go audition for it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not changing. Anymore. Yeah, like I'm not changing these.
I don't do cops anymore because I am a abolitionist and I also don't believe in the police system. But one of the things where I just like stopped auditioning for cop stuff is that like it's propaganda. But the thing about the cop thing is that they always wanted me to be like this black character who was like rooting for a white detective who was doing something wrong. Right. Like, like we have this thing where like all the white detectives are like, I'm not going to listen to you, Captain. I'm going to go take the law into my own. Like we literally have an entire, and it was always me being like, hey, Jake, do that. And I was like, no black woman in her right mind who became a cop is going to go to a white detective and be like, yeah, go off the grid, baby. I was like, don't send me no more of this shit. I'm not auditioning for this. Do not do that. I'm not doing it. So like, yeah.
I have a question for you, Shantira. If you received a script that was like a character that was a black woman cop who was very conflicted and possibly like having doubts about whether she believed in policing herself at all, would you consider it? Or
No,
would you not?
No cops. They
No
don't
cops.
need me. They got plenty of people being cops. They don't fucking need me. I'm nobody. I ain't
All right.
nobody. What they
I
gonna
like
do?
it. I like
no,
it.
No. I want to Marvel. I'd like to be an X-Men. Call me. I want to do that.
Which mutant do you want to be?
Oh my gosh, I just want to be an X-Men. My favorite X-Men is Gambit, but we're not gonna do no gender swaps. Like, I just love Gambit. So Marvel, call me. Let me be in something. I ain't got to be nothing big because I'm not trying to give you 10 years of my life. Just let me be like a tertiary X-Men, and I show up every 4 or 5 years. And I get to go to Comic-Con. Call me for that. CBS, I would like to reboot Jag. I like to play a lawyer. I think that's fun. I love that kind of drama. Let me wear a uniform and then be like, that's fun.
Not to be rude, but Jag's not still on.
Jag's one of the
it feels
few
like
that
it could be.
Jag's gone, and I'm like, let me be a cool lawyer, and I want to be in like a fighter jet. That's fun to me, but also propaganda. But I would like to guest star so I can get a lot of money off the replays on other shows. And then finally, a sitcom where I'm like 6 on the call sheet. I don't want to be Steve Urkel. I want to be like Stefan. Like,
to be fair, Steve Urkel probably started off 6th on the call sheet.
Steve
he was just such a breakout
he
star.
His way up.
Well, that he did. That's what happened. Carl Winslow, what's his name? His real name. But Carl
Reginald Bell Johnson.
Yes, Reginald Bell Johnson was coming off of Die Hard, right?
Oh, I remember.
Coming off of Die Hard, and they were doing a vehicle for him. That show was supposed to be about him. Then Steve Urkel showed up, and then he was supposed to be a guest star. And then the ratings were so good and everybody loved him so much that the show became about Steve Urkel. But that show was supposed to be Carl Winslow's show, like King of Queens. Like, it was Family Matters, his family, not the neighbor matters.
Not the kids, not the neighbors. And like all the adults like kind of hated Jaleel White, right? Because they were
true?
Like, yeah, I think they were.
This is some old hot goss, guys.
This is old hot goss. Yes,
goss.
I think they were like,
what the
said
fuck?
he was like a brat at the time, which I'm like, yeah, he's a child. All children are brats. But I think like, I don't know, it kind of read to me like, well, I get it. Like, he came on the show, you know, he was like,
he was supposed to be there one time and it became his show.
He stole the show.
So anyway, that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't want to play no cop, but I do want to do those 3 things. Yeah. Or just give me a check because you don't want to hear me anymore. I'll go away. I'll take some hush money. $1 million.
I will say, I think Jaleel White stayed in my town in Connecticut one time, and my husband ran into him. And as an adult, he was lovely to my husband. He was delightful. But that's all I can say. I'm not going to write a letter, you know, to any of the cast of Family Matters who say they didn't like Jaleel White. I'm not going to say he was nice to my husband one time.
Listen, don't be doing that kind of stuff for me. What I have learned from TikTok, I'm a TikTok girl, is that as soon as you go on there being like, this is my man, I love him, he's so good, that motherfucker gonna embarrass the fuck out of you. He's gonna embarrass you. As soon as you put that motherfucker on man, you in trouble.
Like, this is the thing. You can't, like, if someone is, you have to accept that people are not who... Guys, I have COVID. I sound like such a fucking idiot right now.
You have COVID and you're like, listen, you get every gold star for showing up today. You get every gold star.
Truly, thank you. But truly, all I've been doing, like, for the last 48 hours now, is get this asshole barking at me. What do you want? You want to play? I know, but I can't. I don't have any energy.
She's sick. Gina, she's sick. Gina.
No, but all I've been doing for the last like 48 hours is sitting in my bed at the apartment. I don't have a television in my bedroom, and my internet doesn't really work well. So like I can't watch any streaming shows.
You gotta get more than one router.
Well, now I know that.
Should have called me. I used to work at Apple.
Shut up. But I know I need to get one, but I don't. This has been, you know, it's fly by the seat of my pants right now. You know, I've got COVID.
Yeah.
So, So I've just been sitting in my bed with my phone, and I've just been like, it's just been straight up memes. Like so many memes that I've just truly like I think at this point right now, I know every meme that exists. I'm not exaggerating.
Well, can I say this too about just scrolling and like, that's why I've been gardening, bring it back. Cause I've been like, let me get the fuck up off the internet. Here's the thing. Okay. You want to know who I think is having a better weekend than they thought they would have had? Joe Jonas.
Oh my God, totally.
He gets to revamp his whole PR thing because he was the news until you want to know who Mila and Ashton's biggest fans are right now?
Yes.
The fucking Joe Jonas PR team. Because the queer was beating his ass.
Yeah.
So he get to go home, tuck his tail in between his legs and be like, totally. You guys, we get to revamp. But I'm bringing it up because don't want everybody to forget. But
he was trash. That was trash.
That is the one who's really having the weekend of his life. Because he was getting dragged like a motherfucker.
My favorite headline from that, I mean, and not that I have a favorite, like it's very sad. Two people are getting divorced, there are children involved. But my favorite headline was that one of their biggest fights was about the Hollywood Bowl, where she wanted to take the shuttle, but he wanted to park at the Hollywood Bowl, and they were stuck in stacked parking for hours after a show. And that was
good.
one of their marriage-ending fights. Which, by the way, like it sounds trivial, but it's not trivial at fucking all.
It's all building. So like, what
and it's indicative of something, you know?
It's like, and it's also like you, like let people have like the dignity of their own experience, right? Yeah. So like, you know, that she absolutely was like, I think we should take the shuttle because that's sensible. And then shuttle probably get its own, the same way a bus get its own route, shuttle probably got its own route, will be out of there. And you know he fought her tooth and nail to be like, no, I'm right. And she said, okay. You know she knew she was right.
We'll find out.
Let people have the dignity of their own experience and just watch them implode. So it's none of my business. All right, sure. I'm going to bring an extra stack for me, bring some little charger for me, make sure I'm taken care of, because I know we're going to be sitting here. And then I love it. Good for her. But yeah, Joe Jonas, he's having the weekend of his fucking life because he gets a redo.
We didn't
forget, but I learned about PR working with Busy because I didn't know nothing about PR. Busy would be like, this is what PR firms do. And I'd be like, girl, I didn't know that. So like, as soon as I saw Ashton in the news, my first thought was, I bet Joe's so happy. They got a new white man's name in their mouth.
Right? Oh my gosh.
It's true.
The crisis PR firms in Hollywood are very busy right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're very busy.
Oh my gosh. Well, do you want to say what you're doing your best at, Busy, before you collapse?
I was just going to say I'm about to collapse.
Oh no.
I don't know what I mean, I feel like we just did the podcast. I don't know what I'm doing my best at.
We should say we're doing the podcast early because, Shantira was gracious enough to join us. And so we had to jump on that opportunity. But also our editor is out of the country. And so we're gonna be going through some things, trying to get this out to you. So that's why we're doing it early.
We're gonna be going through some things.
But we did
not for nothing. There, guys, you don't know this, but there's a lot of edits in this podcast today.
Mm-hmm. I said a bunch of shit, and I told them they got to cut that out.
Yeah. I also am thinking about some things I said that I'm like, we're gonna have to cut that out too.
So we're going to be doing our best to get the podcast out on time.
I think that's what I'm doing. I mean, honestly, that is what I'm doing my best at because truly, I was like. Sleeping. I've been having the craziest fucking dreams.
COVID dreams, some fever dreams ain't no joke. That shit's crazy.
Like it was like, it's been some like weird ass shit where I would then I would wake up and I'm like, wait, did that happen?
That's the worst when you don't know if it happened.
Gotta do a little Palo Santo before you go to sleep.
Okay, I have some. I will.
And you don't have your smell, correct? You can't smell?
No, I lost my smell and taste, which has never happened to me before.
Biz, I got some advice. Well, first, are you using like a steroid nasal spray?
No.
That is helpful, I was told by my doctor. But also, we all lost our
because steroids. Well, because can I just say that when I had my sinus surgery and I used I lost my sense of smell briefly from steroids, from a steroid spray.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
So I don't know.
Well, ask your doctor. Ask your doctor if steroid nasal spray is for you.
No.
But one thing that I think won't have any bad side effects, but when we all lost our smell because of COVID, which is like a panicky feeling if it hasn't happened to you, to like lose your sense of smell.
Yeah. I mean, I guess since it had happened that one time after my surgery.
Right.
But this was really fucking weird. I actually, the moment I realized it, is recorded on my Instagram stories.
Yeah, because you were eating soup, right?
I was. I had like been waiting for this soup to come, and then the soup showed up, and I was like, "Does this taste like fucking nothing?" So I can't believe I waited an hour and 45 minutes for this soup. This is so stupid. And then I was like, "Wait, it doesn't smell like anything either." Oh no! And it
You're like
hit
the
me all
angry
at once.
people on the Yankee Candle reviews who are like, "This candle doesn't smell like anything," and then everyone's like, "You have COVID, you dumb bitch."
It's the Yankee Candle COVID litmus. It's like if you go to Amazon and look at all of the anytime there's a COVID spike, there's a spike in really 1, 2, and 3-star reviews of the Yankee Candle.
Wait, that's really funny. I didn't know that.
I was gonna say what we did is that we had like a mostly empty jar of peanut butter, and we all smelled it every day and tried to really focus on the smell of peanut butter, like remembering the smell of peanut butter. And that's
really funny.
That was the first
I smelled
thing.
peanut butter too. Because I was like, that's the biggest smell is peanut butter.
Yes. I think lemons too. We tried to smell peanut butter and lemons like every day.
So there's a thing. So somebody, a listener of the pod, already responded to my Instagram stories and said there's something called called olfactory retraining.
Yeah, smell training.
And you use, and it's lemon, eucalyptus, rose, and clove, I think.
Okay.
It's
like
very nice.
Those are the 4 scents. And
I don't like rose either, but I like the other 3 a lot.
I do not like rose. I'm allergic to it.
Okay, I don't like rose. And then just one side tidbit, I don't like the taste of rose. Like, I don't like the taste of rose, and I don't like the taste of lavender. I like the idea of liking it, but when I taste it, I don't like it. But go back to that. The other 3 flavors, yes.
You're supposed to like sniff it for 15 seconds each.
Yeah.
Focusing on the flavor twice a day. I don't fucking know, dude. I guess I'll do it.
I mean, listen.
Do 3 out of the 4. Don't do the rose.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do the rose because I'm allergic to rose. I'll do lavender instead of rose.
That's
Or I'll
nice,
just
though.
do peanut butter.
Go ahead, do peanut butter. I swear to God, that was the first thing we were like. I remember in December we were like, I can smell the peanut butter a little bit, but we weren't sure if it was like, again, like, did this really happen?
brain.
If it's like you're mentally like so well what peanut butter smelled like, but that was the first thing that we all smelled. Again,
And then I was kind of thinking like maybe I should do one of this because I've been very unhealthily eating in the last
But you've been
month.
happy,
Shantira,
right?
I've had a lot of, there's been a lot.
You've been happy about everything you put in your mouth. That's what I know.
What?
I say, but you was happy eating it, right? It tastes so
I've been
fucking
happy.
good.
Well, yeah, like I've been having this is the Shantira we don't need to get, but I've had a really like hard, my best friend died.
I know, I saw.
Yeah. And,
so
and then
sorry.
Birdie went to boarding school and I really miss her so much.
Yeah.
And it's just been fucking hard. And like the only thing that's brought me joy is all the food.
Listen,
So
you
I was
gotta
like,
eat
maybe
it.
I can use this moment as a reset and like just do like some like real healthy fucking eating vibes.
Well, you can't
because
taste it, so you might as well just eat.
That's what I'm
Don't
saying,
waste
like,
it.
yeah, just eat sad
But
shit.
I get it. When I went to Chicago, I bought 2 moon pies. Sometimes you just got to do it.
I would eat 2 deep dish pies.
Yeah.
You guys, I just ordered pizza, by the way.
You're like me when I got my tonsils out and I tried to order nachos from Pizzeria Uno. So I was like,
Okay.
this totally makes sense to eat.
Well, no, because I'm not gonna damage the very raw tonsils that are healing.
But your tummy
I just
wants
can't
it.
taste anything.
But your tummy wants it. So
My
good.
tummy wants it. My brain wants it. The reason why I've been eating cake.
But you know what? I'm glad you're enjoying the textures. right?
Well,
You can still enjoy the textures.
I'm gonna get some pizza. Yeah, I mean,
as you should.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I probably shouldn't be eating dairy still, but whatever, because the sinus.
Girl,
Just do the best you can.
You eat some dairy. You gotta. That's the least of our problems.
Wait, did I say, what am I even doing my best at? Doing this podcast.
I think
That's what I'm
we
doing my
just
best
said
at.
like showing up and you had
What are you doing your
COVID and
best
you had
at,
to
Caissie?
lie down. I'm doing my best at, I decided that I want to have like a plus size clothing sale, like jamboree, like a plus
I saw
size.
that.
Yeah. So I posted on Instagram. I'm always nervous. I'm a real Mary Tyler Moore throwing a party. Like I'm always nervous that people are going to be like, no, that's stupid. I don't want to do that. I would never go to that. But that wasn't the case. A bunch of people were like, I would love to come. I would love to participate. People shared it with their friends. So yeah. So, and now I'm accountable to do it, because I told a bunch of people I was going to do it. And then I can clear out my closet and pass along some things to people that will dig them. And I won't have to feel guilty about not wearing those things. And it's like, sustainable and earth friendly and all that. So I'm proud of that. And I think it'll be fun. We'll see. Could be a disaster. You never know.
I love that.
A disaster in LA is usually still pretty fun.
How about you, Shantira? What are you doing your best at?
I'm doing my best at gardening. Not because I'm like growing a lot of food. Like I would love to be better at growing stuff, but I am doing better about like not being so precious about the plants or the things that are growing. Like I'm really like trying to just be like, if it wants to grow, it will. And me desperately trying to like keep every tomato plant alive on the fucking planet, even when it's like, girl, it's 100 degrees, I want to die. Like letting it go, which I think is a good metaphor for a lot of things. But I was
just going to say, I feel like that's metaphorically speaking, that's like where we all need to be.
Like you plant a seed, like I've been doing a lot of stuff planting from seed and like it grows and then like a goddamn squirrel will rip it out and I'll be like in shambles. But then it's like, you know what? That squirrel needed it. That squirrel doesn't have a grocery store. I helped the squirrel. So I'm doing a lot better at like just trying to be like, like I think also we're like, if what is for you is for you and nobody can take it away from you. It's the same thing with the plants. If the cucumber wants to grow here, it will. And if it just wants to sprout a couple of flowers and then peace out, I absolutely get it. Earth is crazy right now, girl. If you want to die, go ahead. Don't write that. But like, this is not for people. This is for plants.
Yeah.
Okay? Stay alive, people. But if your little fig wants to peace out, let her go.
Shantira, I have missed you so much and your infinite wisdom. And also clearly the ghosts have showed up.
Because I know what is
happening.
You guys, I don't fucking know, but all of a sudden look at the light in my... What is happening?
Busy
you guys,
has
this
like
is like...
flashing lights in her apartment.
Am I Sigourney Weaver? Is all I'm going to say. And
I don't want to
if
see
I am, where is my fucking
listen.
Bill Murray?
Here's the thing. I'm just going to be real black with you for a second. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Get the fuck out of Busy's house.
Get out.
She does not have time for that.
Yeah,
I don't want to see you get possessed live on Zoom and then I have to give it to peoplemagazine.com. I have to give the clips.
Listen, ghost. Get out of the house. You've been fucking around ever since we've been on this Zoom and we do not have time for it.
That's why Gino's been barking.
I know.
Oh my gosh, what was it?
I mean, I just shut the light off, so.
It was just like a blinking. I will say, when I worked in the nursing home, there was like music would come on at a certain time in the middle of the night, every night, and in this woman's room who had passed away. And everybody was like, it was the talk of the nursing home when I came back from vacation, how they were like, every night music goes on in her room and at the same time. And then I went down there and I was like, it's the clock radio. No one never unplugged the clock radio.
Yeah.
So
I actually have to say, similarly to the faucet. I think this has more to do with some electrician not quite tying the last wire together than it does the veil being
But
thin.
listen, I told them to get out. So
yeah, they're out. They're
just
out.
in case.
Just in case. Sure. Get the fuck out. She needs to rest.
Shantira, I really have missed you so much. I'm really getting emotional right now. I miss you. I'm so glad that you're living life, doing well, thriving and surviving even through this fucking unholy time. And
Just trying to grow tomatoes.
I'm growing tomatoes, and I want to see more of you. And next time I'm in LA, we have to like actually hang out so that.
Yeah, hit me up. I'm not going nowhere.
We'll go get pizza that you can taste hopefully by then.
Guys, I'm gonna do that smell stuff, and I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry about me.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna come to LA. Also, I don't know, the sunshine opens up your pores. You'll be able to smell better when you get here.
Shantira,
the buildings are blocking the air from going in your nose, Busy. You have to come and go to Runyon.
I was like crying. I was crying on the phone to Mark today, and he was like, well, like, I don't know what he was saying. And then I was like, I just this and that, and I don't want to live here anymore. And he didn't hear me say live here. He thought I said live. And I was like, busy, listen to me. And he like got all serious. And I was like, wait, what did you think I just said? I was like, Mark, I'm sick and I miss our child and I don't love New York. Like
Yeah.
No, I'm going to live. I want to live.
Yeah, I want to live.
I'm like, I just want to live in a place where I can have like my big fucking house and a pool again.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah. And the sunshine. You're talking to the right bitch because you know New York hates my fucking guts.
I know
you were so miserable in New York.
I tell you, you know how miserable I was. I went back to Tallahassee, and that is all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
I said, let me go to Tallahassee because this city is beating my ass. So no, I get it. So let me tell you, the city said, you got one more day here, bitch. Get the fuck out. And I said, you gotta tell me twice.
But see, Shantira, that was my problem. LA kicked me the fuck out. I got kicked out of LA.
Well, I mean, maybe like I went back to like kind of like renew my relationship with New York because we were so hostile to each other.
I was gonna say maybe you just had a fight.
Yeah, I was like, but like they was beating my ass. At some point, you gotta like once somebody down, they be like, okay, white flag, you gotta stop beating people's ass. But New York is beating my ass. So then I went and I was like, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have a little kiki. Let me tell you, everything I still hated. Restaurants on fire. 2 restaurants I went to. One was just closed on a Wednesday. Monday and a Tuesday, I understand. I went to one restaurant and then it was just like, we don't be open on Wednesdays. I was like, let me get the fuck out of this city. No. So like, you can renew your relationship with the city in a way because the last time I left, it was really bad.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I actually saw, I mean, I couldn't, this is the thing. I saw an apartment that came up for sale today. The problem, my living situation's not great. That's the truth. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. You're sacrificing yourself for like the good
my child.
Of, for your children.
Right now. And I'm like, ugh. And I feel like if I lived in Los Angeles, it would be a lot easier on me.
It would. Los Angeles, I truly, genuinely believe this. Mentally, Los Angeles provides you with things that help you mentally that New York doesn't. Also, I went to like Sedona and went to like a retreat or whatever. And it was talking about how like the vortexes, you know, vortex. So how like Sedona's a vortex, LA is a vortex, and New York is a vortex, right? But the energy is absolutely different. So the energy in LA and Sedona is from the sacral up. So it's a lot of brightness lifting you up. New York is sacral down, money, power, strength, and it's pulling you. It's pulling you down constantly.
But pulling you down to the earth. But see, this is actually really interesting that you say that because I'm a person in Ayurvedic medicine that's like hot only from like my solar plexus up. So like my whole thing is that I have to be dragged down. Yes.
Well, here's the thing. New York gonna drag a motherfucker. Maybe it does.
New York's gonna drag a motherfucker.
New York's a brick.
Yeah, and it's pulling you. It's really like grounded energy. And then LA is like, no, I like I don't like it's not good for me.
New York was hard for me. I think you probably felt the same way, Shantira. I was like, not only does it kick your ass, it's really hard. Like, and I'm sure you noticed when you came from New York to LA is just that like, it's hard to make that adjustment because people are much more casual here. So for me, I was like work harder, work faster, like take this more seriously because I was so like, New Yorky. And everyone was like, no, I mean, if it gets done, it gets done, whatever. But I just found New York to be so lonely. Even when I was around so many other people, I just felt so lonely.
Well, I would also say when you were like, I put a post on the internet for people to come to my party in LA, people will come. Ain't nobody coming to New York.
Right.
Ain't nobody fucking coming to your party. Ain't nobody coming because the train will just shut off and you might not be able to get home. Like nobody's fucking going anywhere. It's hard to have friends in New York who aren't like, that's why Friends was on the same goddamn floor. They knew if somebody lived in Williamsburg and somebody else fucking lived in like, like what? Some other borough, they would be like, no, never.
Right.
You guys, the amount of times that I've seen Michelle I can count on one hand.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. We live in the same fucking city.
You cannot, you're like, oh, we're going to see each other. No, you're not. Because it takes a ferry, a plane. You got to take a motorcycle. You got to do an underground tunnel, take a secret elevator with a code that only opens with your eyes. And then you can see somebody. Like,
yeah, plus you'll probably fall down. You'll get like rubbed up against by someone. Your nose ring will get stuck in someone's hair. I've had that happen.
52 rats.
It's a lot. Rats.
So just know that we agree with you.
We're here. We're here. And even though the pizza's not very good here in Los Angeles,
it's not.
We can get pizza when you come.
Okay. No, but by the way, I literally have been wanting Fresh Bros. I love Fresh Bros. There. What? That's what I would we would order from. I know it's not a place you go to.
I've never been there before, but also I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of sirens. This seems very stressful. That's like the fifth siren.
I do have my window open to get a little fresh air.
But still, what's happening?
My window is closed and ain't not one siren been by me.
I know, but you remember that I lived in Hollywood where there were sirens nonstop and helicopters. It was like I've always lived. You know where I'm at in my life? I'm at the point where like when I find my next partner, the love person, like partner, I'm like, I want to live off the grid upstate. Like I want to live in the wilderness.
Busy. No, you don't.
You want to do that for a day or two.
You guys,
I do. You don't know me. I do. I want to do pottery. I want to do my fucking bad art.
And I want to just be off the grid. I want to be on the grid. I need all the grid. I want a grid. I might want a solar grid. Oh, you want to be on the grid, Busy.
A solar grid.
You want a grid. You're a little further away from everybody. Further away from.
I just want to live like.
But you want to be on the
trees.
Grid. The pizza is not coming to your house with a phone call if you off the grid, Busy.
Okay, you're right.
You're right. Your grid, you got to have one road into your house.
I want to live. I actually want to live like near where I had that house before, like upstate where there's like a little town where they've got a pizza place and they have a candy store and they've got a coffee shop and like.
You need to be somewhere where they have 24-hour like coming.
Yes. Then they have a gas station.
Yes. You got to be able to get up and be like, damn, I need a Coke. Like,
yes. That's right.
You want to find,
that's what I want. I don't want to be like.
You need to find your home.
No, I just want to like, yes, that's what I need to find.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to lie down.
You got to go lay down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love you so much.
Shantira, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us.
Me.
We love
everybody.
You. We miss you too.
Everybody misses you so much. People are constantly asking us, and now here you are. Let's not make it another 2 years. Let's make it sooner.
She's doing great.
I'm around.
She's doing her best.
I am. I really am. Now ain't that the truth? Me and my goddamn tomatoes are doing our best.
I love you guys.
We'll talk to you all soon. We love you. Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.